On this episode of The Honest Mechanic with our featured mechanic, Todd Kemp.
I mean, literally, because when I work on people's car, sometimes I got to go in personal places. And you pop their trunk open and you start moving stuff to the side, and you're like... You know, you could save 3 miles to the gallon if you just cleaned your trunk out, right?
Man, please talk about it. Check it out. You're listening to The Honest Mechanic with our featured mechanic, Todd Kemp.
Welcome to The Honest Mechanic. I'm Tonya with Todd and Dave, and today we are talking about accessories for your car. Thanks to smart technology, we have smart cars. So I know there are a lot of fun gadgets out there that's personalized to meet your needs and lifestyle that you can add on to your car. So last week, BMW unveiled its 2019 X5, and it was fully loaded. But let's see if some or all of these features are exclusively made for the car or available as accessories for other vehicles. So the first thing that I saw were the cup holders, which...
We started with the cup holders. Yes. That if I get a cup of coffee, now instead of... It automatically can warm my coffee, or if I had some iced tea, it can keep it cold. Mm-hmm. Todd, what do you think about that?
Actually, that's pretty old technology, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You take Ford. Ford had the Ford Flex, I think 2007 or 8. They had a cooler in the back, and you could either cool it. You can use it as a cooler or a freezer. Mm-hmm. Mercedes has had it for quite some time in their SL models. The Maybach has it. Mm-hmm. A lot of the technologies are just they weren't practical in cost, but they have been done. Mm-hmm. Even Chevy Tahoe had the cup holder that sat right in front of the vent, which would keep your cup, if it was wintertime, to keep your hot cup of coffee warm because you got the heat on. Or, in the summertime, if you had the air on, literally the cup holder was built directly in front of the vent, I think from 95 till 2000. So, it's little strategic things that it sounds good. It makes you feel more comfortable. It's more convenient. And nowadays we've switched trends. Years ago, it was everything was an option. Mm-hmm. And, you could buy a base model car, roll down windows, might have backdoor knobs, unlock knobs, it might not. It's the passenger side mirror was the driver's side mirror was an option, or passenger side. One of them, even your side view mirrors were options.
Wow.
Now I went back to the 80s on that one, but yeah, you saw a lot of cars with one mirror. But yeah,
no parallel parking ever.
Accessories are kind of like the mother of invention. I want something different than everybody else, or I want something more convenient than everybody else. Mm. And it's crazy. The history of it is absolutely amazing. I mean, you take the original Bronco. The original Bronco, one of the options was a post hole digger that mounted to the side of the truck.
The OJ version?
No, this was the old school the 60s version. The little two-door, the convertible one. But yeah, I mean, it's all a matter of what the vehicle needed, and you could imagine, what you want. But we're going to go deeper into accessories because there are different classes of accessories. Yeah. And there are different trains of thought. Also, there are safety concerns with some accessories. So let's talk about, being Dave, Tonya, you guys all had cars for a long time. What were things that you wanted to see or add or wished you could put in the car? Because back in the day when you were young, you couldn't get a new car, so you bought an old car. You wanted to have new car stuff in it. So,
when I was young, and it's funny you mention that because at different phases of life, you have different needs. And when I remember the first car that I had was a Hyundai Accent.
Wow.
Ooh, yeah.
Doom buggy.
Hatchback. And I was just happy that I had 4 wheels.
Yeah.
I didn't treat the car well. I didn't care. And it was nothing. It was like the base model because that's all I could afford at the time.
Wow.
So there was nothing in it. Start, stop.
Did you have roll down windows or you had electric windows?
No, I had to manually roll down the window.
Crank the windows, yeah.
Crank the window down.
Your friend walk up to the passenger side like, no, come around the car.
Right.
I'm not going to reach over.
Right.
Exactly. But now that I have a family, and now that I'm older, anything that makes my life more convenient and, just like the cup holder thing, I wouldn't have cared about that 10, 15 years ago. But where I'm at, give me the cup holder, give me, massage seats,
Pamper me.
Pamper me. Give me whatever I need. So you're absolutely right. It's what do you guys like as far as accessories?
I've had so many accessories. I mean, I've literally, over the years, I've piped miles of wires through cars just to make it do this or do that. I've imagined exhaust from scratch. But you know what? I'd say about 10 years ago, the one accessory that I needed to have, and I said as soon as I could get some money, I'd get this accessory in my car, ventilated seats. I'm a big guy, I'm heavy, and every time you go out of town, your girl always wants a different temperature than you do.
Talk about it, bro.
And it's always hotter than you want it to be. So you're sitting there and it's like, okay, I'm dying over here, I'm sweating, and you're freezing. So it's like, okay, what do I do? So you get to where you're going 10 hours later, 8 hours later, and your back is just toasted, funky, and you're like, oh, I feel so miserable. So first thing you do is run in town, check in the hotel, take a shower, change your clothes, and then you're ready for the nightlife. Well, I happened to rent a car one time, and it had ventilated seats. Man, I cut that vent on, and I'm riding. Then it had dual climate control, which is an awesome feature too. Which I talked about for a long time because it was overcomplicated from a mechanic standpoint. But once it became mainstream, it was like, okay, I can't run from it anymore. You got to use it, and I'm like, I see my girl changing the temperature. She's like. Like, no, you don't have to change the whole car temperature. Change your side. So, yeah, I think that was, and believe it or not, that's one of my favorite features right now in my Toyota Sequoia is the ventilated seats. And I'm in the market for like an Avalon or something like that. And the first thing I do when I walk up to it, I look inside and go, doesn't have vented seats. What's the next model up?
Man, I've always been into accessories, and from a kid, I fell in love with sports cars, and huge throwback right here, like the Rockford car, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Funkmaster Flex, Rockford Fog.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
With the flame or the paint or the body kit, so I'm into all that, rims, brake kits, tires, aggressive looking tires or whatever, and everything, and all of that stuff, and the shape of the body kit, like the molding around the exhaust and stuff like that, and for it to look like it has body and shape and things like that. But yeah, definitely the rims, tires guy, absolutely.
Okay, so you like the bling, the flash,
trust, the chrome.
See, I was a sleeper guy. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. If you showed too much, it was coming up missing.
That's true on the west side too.
So it was like everything had to be low key, so my thing was sounds,
trust,
killer sounds. It was, I remember just you would be late for work because one of your speakers stopped working and you had to go to the garage, get your spare speaker, hook it up, and you like, okay, cool, I can ride to work with my sound. Your subwoofer went out, so you had to switch out the backup subwoofer. Like, I can't ride without my music. And I didn't understand it, but certain songs made you want to have sounds like, a guy pull up to you, throw back again, Tupac violin, and you hear
Man.
And that song hit so hard because there was a certain part in the song where you just you felt your life inside. You just the music became a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have, but and sounds were like so primitive back then. Like, man, I got 4 6x9s. And
ooh.
I got, and then you had a box. You had literally like the box in the window.
Yeah.
Or you took some stage sound speakers and you put it in the trunk. It was just that's all you had.
Man, but back in the day, that was status, bro. Like if your trunk was rattling, and no throwback. Shout out to 1992 or 3 when Deep Cover came out.
Oh yeah. Oh, bro. God, I remember that day. I remember the day.
Everybody was playing that joint.
Doing, and I rushed to the record store.
Hold up. He just said record store. Yeah, you just heard that. Okay, keep talking.
As Prince would say, if you want a Sam Cooke album, where do you go? You go to the record store. So that's what I did. I ran to the record store, and I'm like, they got this new song to what it's called. This guy named Snoop, man. It was like Deep Cover, something like that. Yeah, he's like, I ain't heard of it. So I came back Tuesday. And for all the audio files, you know what Tuesday was. Tuesday was the day music dropped and you could get it for $9.99. So yeah.
That's it.
So sounds was my thing. I didn't like loud exhaust because I didn't want to take over my sounds. I wanted to hear the music. So it was a trade-off. It was like big exhaust, big music. Like, nah, I'll take the big music. Now I'm kind of balanced. So, but yeah, sounds was for me.
Oh yeah,
the low profile tires. Like, I mean, we still ran 14s, 15s. Now, I sold tires. And when they told me they were coming out with 18s, we were like, oh my gosh, how do you mount those? What is these? What are those? And then we saw the picture of them. Lexani did that.
Yes.
That big. If you're familiar with rims, you know Lexani.
That's right.
They did a spread. Then you had Alpine with the Countach. They had the white Countach. So those are the cars that you dreamed
just
about.
Looking like y'all left me 14 seconds ago.
I know. Call me when you get back.
Yeah, those are the accessories of and honestly, these companies are still pumping out accessories, but as technology has gotten so advanced and the cars have so many computers, you can't tap into. So what car manufacturers did, they said, look, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, it is.
And let's just sell people the accessories up front. First thing with Holly, you rub on that car more than you rub on me. Well, every time I rub on you, you get pregnant. I'm
done, everybody.
Cost me more damn money than it was worth wiping under the car.
I recently went to my daughter's in 5th grade, and they had a field trip in Chicago. We have a museum here called the Museum of Science and Industry. So leaving the exhibit and everything that they were scheduled to see, we walked past and going back to the area, the meeting area. So one of the exhibits in the window was like technology, and they showed and they talked about radios and different companies that supplied things, and it was Motorola, and they showed the military radios that they provided and produced, and then they showed cell phones and the evolution of cell phones. I looked down, I was like, I had to take a picture of it. I said, man, 3 of these 4 phones I had, like, and to see it in a museum, I felt away. I mean,
actually, you should have felt like on point because you were the man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to have the Razor phone, you was the man.
Razor,
the StarTAC.
Yes, sir.
I'm going back because I remember all of them. And it's funny he said that. I look at my grandfather, he's in 82, I think now. I look at him and used to tell me stories about sitting around at a friend's house to listen to the radio.
Yeah.
And to listen to Superman on the radio.
Yeah, that was a thing.
And it's like, wow, and he's seen so much to now. Just last month he got a new Android, and oh my God. The things I'm teaching him is phenomenal. He's text messaging, and I'm like, dude. So yeah, he's taking pictures and selfies, and I'm like, whoa, So yeah, it's pretty cool to definitely be in accessory world. But yeah, like Tonya's saying, as far as family friendly accessories.
You know what? USB ports.
Yeah, USB ports. Man. I think USB ports are going to be like cup holders of the 2000s. I mean, they say don't drink and drive, but I look at my Sequoia and I've got on one side, I think I got on a side of it, I think I got 8 cup holders. In the middle, I have 8 more. And in the far back, I got like 2 extra. I got 4 cup holders. I think it's a total of 12 or 15 cup holders in this thing. So, USB ports, I think, are going to become the mainstay but then once again, it's USBs. We've got USB 2.0, you got USB 3.0 now. Right. So
anything for the phone.
We're gonna outpace whatever technology that we put into a vehicle. And because a vehicle's useful life is 5 to 10 years, every accessory that they throw into them is really going to be garbage very quickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, we've got minivans or not so minivans, the new crossover SUV market, which is the not so minivan market. But, minivans have now dual power sliding doors. I remember the old Caravan. And you just heard that over and over again every morning outside of school. The kids sliding out of the minivan.
Oh my God.
So yeah.
And it was only one side.
It was one side.
One side.
So now you've got dual power sliding doors where you hit the button and kid jumps out and the whole soccer team flies out the back. You've got sliding trays that hold the soccer snacks. And, what makes you have to really an accessory is what makes you comfortable. Like you say, the massaging seats. Yeah. I don't know how good of an idea that is on a 12-hour ride, but it sounds cool. But yeah, I could occasionally use them.
But now they have it where when you're driving, if you're swerving off, then it feels like
lane departures.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Car safety that's really the biggest accessory of the 2000 18, 19 movement. So integration I think is going to be the biggest move for cars in the near future.
Is this a mechanic's nightmare with all this new technology? And
Not really. It's really a dealer's nightmare because when they start having problems with the integrated systems, either you can replace the whole system or you can give it back to them and let them figure it out, but you will never have the equipment to figure it out. Ultimately, Tesla, we hear about them all the time, they can literally go into their car from a remote location and fix whatever the problem is, because most of the time it's not a mechanical issue. It's a software issue. Mm-hmm. And we're starting to see software issues more often with vehicles where what do you do when we grew up in the Control Alt Delete age.
Right.
Cars have a Control Alt Delete function, which is you disconnect the battery, plug it back in, make it reboot, and start all over. And if the problem persists, then you may have to replace something. And that's how mechanics are being opted out. We're not really mechanics anymore. We're software equipment technicians.
Very true.
Wow. Yeah. So what if the do-it-yourselves, car lovers out there, like you said, eBay, or if you go to Amazon and like, oh, I want this accessory, and they try to do it themselves or try to take it to a mechanic. What have you seen with that?
People not following the directions. I mean, that alone is the most important thing. And directions are the weirdest thing. Men typically are the number one culprit of this. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Yep. It's just two wires.
I don't need no manual.
I don't need no directions. But there's a big fluorescent orange label across the box that says, please read instructions before. I don't think they would pay 12 cents for this sticker if they didn't have something important to say. And I can't stress that enough as a technician. I guess I would say the difference between a technician and a mechanic is we read the manual. But because anybody can do the work. It's just really reading the manual. And a lot of times that small piece of information, manufacturers have tried, the manufacturer of anything, before they send it out or say it works, they've tried it numerous times, many different ways. And whatever anomaly they come across, it's almost like the side effects for a drug. They're going to write that down and they're going to tell it to you. And they do that so that you're not on the phone. They're not paying a person for tech support 24/7 because around the world people are trying this product out and you didn't put it in directions that if you have a car that was made on 619 model number, la-di-la-di-da, this product won't work. So now if everybody's putting it on this car, it's 20,000 cars out there, 5,000 people want this accessory. Now I get 5,000 phone calls for this part not working when you could have simply read the little orange sticker and followed the directions.
Yeah. And before we go to break, what are some accessories that are good that you can just add to your car yourself versus getting the package when you purchase the car?
That's an interesting, varied question because you got, just let's say, for instance, a trailer hitch on a truck. Mm-hmm. Ford offers their trailer hitch package for $895 on the F-150. And I found that to be a little unusual. But for $895, what are you getting? You're getting a wire harness that's already prepped for the vehicle, and you're getting a trailer hitch. You can go to U-Haul, get the same thing for about $250. Now, will it be, will you have all the bells and whistles as the factory one? No. Will it function just absolutely fine? Yes. So those are the mental debacles that you come up with. And there's two types of accessories. They're dealer installed, or three actually. They're factory accessories. In fact, and they're spec'd by the factory. They're made for the vehicle, a specific vehicle, and they will fit every single time. Then there are dealer installed accessories. That is a funny situation because dealer installed accessories can be exactly the same accessories that you order on eBay. They install them. Now, are they responsible for them? For the duration of the manufacturer's warranty? Yes. The limitations that the dealer has are the manufacturer's warranty. Now, there are some aftermarket things that a dealer will do, and there are some things that they want. If you want side steps and you don't like the factory option side steps, because they may cost $1,300. Well, you can get some DZ ones for $349. Will a dealer install them? Yeah, for $559. So, they see the profit in it, but also there is ups and downs, and you have to be careful about knowing what you're asking for and being an informed consumer when you purchase these items.
Okay, Dave, I have a question before we go to break and kind of recap the different accessories. What, as far as accessories are concerned, what do you think people should do when they're looking for accessories and how to match it with their lifestyle?
I think that the last thing you said about matching it to their lifestyle, because there are accessories for, the parents, the moms, like, the little sunshades for babies and little things like that, and cup holders for sippy cups with the little latch thing so it doesn't hit the floor. So there's a huge, just like you said, Todd, there's a huge amount of need and things like that for different lifestyles, and they look at their lifestyle, like what's important to you, like what is it an important accessory to have the cell phone holder or what have you, either attached to the clip or the little suction cup thing, or what's important to you and what's going to work for you and your different lifestyle, and not to see, oh yeah, that's cool, but it really doesn't fit your lifestyle. So I think self-awareness is always, I say that in anything I'm doing. So self-awareness is to know what your lifestyle calls for. And from there, it's like, yeah, I think this will work, or this new thing came out and let me try it, whatever, and things like that. And from there, I think, there's a ton, just like you said, there's a ton of different markets, either eBay, Amazon, a ton of different things that even your dealer has in the parts area, new accessories or things like that. To where you can get the Tonya signature BMW coffee thermos. You can get that
when you open the car up and it says Todd's car,
right
on the ground, and it's lit and it's a hologram,
and it's in your actual signature.
Yeah. Those are available.
Yeah, so it's a ton of different accessories, but depending on what your preference and what your lifestyle calls for.
Okay, and one more thing, Todd. Before we started the show, you talked seatbelts were an accessory at one time.
Man, when you said, I'm like, really? Like what? Back in the 20s? Like
No, and once again, one of those fun facts: car manufacturers did not want to put seatbelts in the car, because they felt like if you put a seatbelt in the car, it was taboo. With the seatbelt in the car, you're gonna have an accident and you're gonna die. So they felt like putting a seatbelt in it was giving the wrong idea about the safety of the rest of the car. And
there are a couple tickets that I need a refund on.
So yeah, seatbelts. Like I say, I had an 81 Chevy van, and it did not come with seatbelts.
That is hilarious.
And I guess it was exempt because it was a van. I don't know, maybe heavy duty. I don't know.
You're sitting up higher. What do you need seatbelt for?
Right. You weigh more than everybody else. The laws of physics protect you. But yeah, seatbelts and safety, period. I mean, just safety has been the most difficult thing. Just think of how many times you talked about those ugly Volvo 240 DLs back in the day.
Oh my God!
As ugly as they were the company is based on safety. I mean, they do stuff that no one else has done. They were the inventors, I believe, of crumble zones, or at least the most extensive user of them. I remember back in the day, I went to a Volvo dealer because my mom really liked the 760 or something like that.
Oh my God, my aunt had that.
And they were telling her, well, if it's a front impact, the engine's going to fall out the car so it doesn't come into the car. And I'm like, engine fall out the car won't be worth nothing after you had an accident. And I'm probably 7 or 8 years old, like, with, some mechanical knowledge, but I'm like, if the motor falls out, you can't put the car back together, mama.
So the honest mechanic was born.
It's like, ding. I don't think you need
the mantle rested on it.
I mean, safety, and when you buy a car, every car has something that they claim as their reason for being an engineer, a designer. We hear Tonya loves BMWs. She loves them, and most BMW owners are in love with their car. Most Mercedes owners, the Mercedes engineers have a different frame of thought, and the way they engineer their cars are completely different. So their accessories are different, their options are different. Yep. You won't find the same thing on either one, but the price points may be similar, but you won't find the same thing because they don't want the same outcome. And you drive a BMW, they want you to turn a corner, they want you to do a corkscrew turn at 55, 65 miles an hour. And that's the ultimate driving machine. They want you to be able to pass, and I love their transmissions, but they want you to be able to pass at any given time, no matter what's going on. It's like you're doing 30 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, you can still pass.
I know that's right.
And Mercedes they want you to feel comfortable. They want you to feel posh. They want you to feel taken away from the road, so you don't feel the road. You're disconnected, and that's their philosophy.
I agree with that.
Honda, they want a reliable car that really doesn't have everything that you may get in a Mercedes, but it's a reliable car. Toyota, God forbid, they are the most boring car on the road, but you own it for 40 years. You won't, I don't know too many Toyotas that turn heads when you pull up to the stoplight, or when the valet goes, I'm going to take that one to the garage. But that's Toyota. You buy a Toyota, you'll have it forever.
Yeah.
And, Chevy, they've got some pizzazz. You've got the full gambit with them. So it's all a matter of the philosophy of that particular car manufacturer.
I totally agree with that. I mean, Honda, the car I'm driving now is like number 7 for me, or whatever. So I've had, my first car was a Mazda. My first 2 cars were stick shift. And the first car, I tore that clutch up. But yeah, I completely agree with that. Like Honda, I say always the 3, the Honda, Toyota, and Nissan, you can push them off a cliff and they'll still start when it hits the bottom. Like seriously, and or Honda / Acura, Toyota / Lexus, Nissan / Infiniti.
Stop showing you're American. Those marks only exist in America because we won't pay for a luxury car, the luxury Toyota. We won't pay for a luxury Nissan. We won't pay for a luxury Honda. We'll pay for Acura, Lexus, or Infiniti, though.
Yep, have all 3.
And then you pull the hood and it says Honda.
That's exactly right.
Yes, indeed. So when we come back, let's recap everything here and let's talk about one more time go over the 3 styles, car accessories that you have.
You know, you could save 3 miles to the gallon if you just cleaned your trunk out.
Man, please talk about it.
I just don't know why.
This car burning so much gas, and then you pop the trunk, it's like, because you carrying around too much ass. you put in they bag lady, you gon' hurt your back.
Yeah. We're back with the Honest Mechanic, Todd and Dave. And we've been talking about car accessories and, we're coming to a close. So, Todd, tell us about 3 style of accessories for vehicles.
Well, 3 different types of accessories are factory installed, which are definitely things when you go buy a car to give you, here's the base model, or here's this upgraded package, and here are the extra things we can add. Usually it's a whole page, it's a whole pull-out page with everything. You don't want this wheel, you want that wheel, and you can add it to the cost of the car. Those are all spec'd for the vehicle. They'll work perfect for the vehicle. You won't have any issues with them, and they're covered under the factory warranty. Then you have dealer-installed options, which can be a sunroof or things that you won't find in that factory package, but you may want. They have vendors that provide them with, say, for instance, your car only comes with cloth interior, you want leather. They have a way to do that with the aftermarket supplier. Sometimes they'll go on eBay or Amazon just like you will and install it and charge you whatever they're going to charge you for their time and labor. But that would be considered a dealer installed option. Next, you have personal installed options or user installed options, end user install options. And that's things that you may buy from Amazon, eBay, Crutchfield, various other vendors that you can put on, but you would have to alter the vehicle in some form or fashion to put them on. And those are your particular taste. Those are what you want to do. It's a personal accessory. And when you do personal accessories, you can never expect to recoup any. Matter of fact, most personal accessories reduce the resale value of most vehicles. It's just the nature of the beast. You drilled a hole into the pillar to put this speaker up there. It doesn't belong there. It sounds great, but it doesn't belong there. So you've actually essentially reduced the value of your vehicle.
That's right. Unless
you find that person at the end of the rainbow that loves what you've done and they'll pay for it. And they are out there. It's just a matter of when you go personal, expect to accept the depreciation factor. But other than that, Dave he likes certain accessories, and he can offer an opinion on them or pluses and minuses. Go ahead.
I completely agree with that. I mean, like we were talking earlier about back in the day, like guys would add the graphic EQ and push all of the sliders all the way up because that meant it's louder. No. Then when they blew stuff up, I mean, exactly what you're saying, like to drill a hole and to mount another speaker on the dash, like, bro, like that's great for you. But the next person may not want that particular accessory. And things like that. So it's to be aware of, if you want to change out the radio, just know that the next person, may not want that type of radio. It's just like buying a house. You want to feel like you're walking into this for the first time and things like that. So with accessories, it comes back to what do you want to do with this car? Like, are you keeping this? Like, hey, this is my car, and I'm not looking to get rid of it. Have you? Then do whatever you want. Paint the inside pink. Go ahead, go ahead, forehead. But other than that, it's like do it within reason. That would make sense. For your lifestyle and for what you're going to do, the mission of the car. Like, if you're looking to have me be in this for a while, but I'll probably upgrade in a few years. Okay, well, don't go nuts, like with your accessories and things like that. And yeah.
And I will add, when you when you accessorize, always keep the original pieces.
Yes, sir.
It's like the depreciation factor that I'm talking about. Whenever I sell a car that I've done some modifications to, hey, here's a bag full of everything that I took off. And it's like, oh, okay, great. Mm-hmm. Cool. Now I got the original radio back.
Right.
I got the original wheels. Yep. Sometimes, because you don't want to run wheels all year round. A lot of people do it, but wheels, as soon as weather change, you took your wheels off, put your factories back on, and you rolled them through the winter due to the fact that the finish is not as durable as the factory finish.
Right.
So, yeah, it's the best advice I can give when you accessorize is to keep your stuff. You got to have a big corner in the garage where you can put everything that you've taken off.
Yep.
And if you have time or if it's of value to you, put everything that you took off back on when you get ready to sell a car, because it may seem good to a 16-year-old kid who's buying your Honda Accord that it's got 212s in it and DSP processor and but when their dad comes up and pops the trunk, he goes, oh no. So you can, like I said, that's not going to fly in it, and you won't be selling that car.
Right.
So it's just a matter of understanding the market, understand what you're doing, and once again, being an aware consumer and an aware owner of your vehicle.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, back in the day when you put, like we talked about earlier, the kicker box and stuff like that in the trunk, you're not caring about space in the trunk because groceries aren't important, okay, to a 19, 20-year-old. You don't care. But 35 with kids, trust. I need grocery area and trunk space and things like that. So certain things become more important with life, just like what you said when we started, Tonya. And couldn't agree more.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of The Honest Mechanic, and we'll see you next week.